Cubs bat in the fourth, leading 3-2 on the home run by Tyler Colvin. And Xavier Nady swings and misses. John Danks came in having won his last 3 starts. Danks acquired from Texas Rangers prior to the 2007 season. Was the Rangers' #1 prospect when he was dealt. He's from Round Rock, Texas. First rounder of the Rangers in 03. His brother Jordan, drafted by the White Sox in 05, decided to go to University of Texas instead. Then the White Sox took him again, much higher in the draft in 08, and he is currently at AAA. Good looking outfielder, 6'4", 210. We've seen Jordan Danks a lot in spring training. He strikes out.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN TV is sponsored in part by the Illinois Lottery Mega Millions. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is $16 million.
Ramirez fly deep to the warning track and right his first time. Came off the DL on his 32nd birthday on Friday. If you go back to June 19th, when the Cubs were shut out by the Angels, they scored 12 runs the next day. But if you take out that 12-run outburst, including the 3 they've gotten today, they've scored 9 runs in the other 7 games and shut out 3 times. That'll get down in the gap and is going to roll all the way to the wall for Ramos. He has a stand-up double.
Ramirez chased Quentin all the way to the chain link fence in right field with a drive that direction. His first at bat this time. Clean extra base hit into the gap in left center. Starting to hit the ball with more authority. Drive it into the gaps and over the fence. And needless to say, that is a tremendous sign for the Cubs offense.
Suggested it before he went on the DL as Soriano takes a strike to not look at the scoreboard, because the batting average going into that at bat 167. Now it's 171. It's going to be a long road back to respectability in that regard, but there's nothing he can do about that now except look at every at bat moving forward. Can't do anything about your average going backwards in a season. For ball 1 and 2.
Yeah, this is not a sport where you get mulligans. Whatever you've done up to this point is still going to go on your record, but all you can hope to do is from this point forward put together good at bat after good at bat and maybe look up at that scoreboard at the end of the season and see if you don't like those numbers better.
And, you know, if he finishes strong by the end of the year, if you say, well, he hit 235, but from June 27th forward, he hit 320.
Yeah. That's a season saver.
Two to Soriano with Soto on deck. Cubs with different uniforms tonight or today than they had last night. They had a special patch made for the game last night. Their 20,000th regular season game. First team to get to that milestone. Those game-used jerseys will be available to fans via the Cubs Charities auction page on Cubs.com. Good at bat for Soriano. Came all the way back and took the walk. Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to WrigleyvilleRooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF. Two on, one out. Soto singled and scored on the Colvin homer in the last inning. Sweaty Ryan Dempster chatting with Alan Trammell. Cool off a little bit, doesn't have to bat in this AL style contest. 2-1. Hot and humid today.
Just the way we like it.
2-2.
Now, one thing we've seen here in the early going, home plate umpire Gary Darling will call that high strike. He'll go up above the belt on occasion. The Derek Lee changeup that he struck out on in his last at bat in the third inning was up above the belt. Well, you got to know that going in. If you didn't know it going in, you certainly know it now.
That's drilled, but Rios is going to get there on the run in right center. And a good swing by Soto. And you know Rudy's going to tell him, just keep doing that. They'll fall.
Hey fans, on Wednesday, July 7th, PNC Bank presents the third annual Road to Wrigley as the Peoria Chiefs take on the Kane County Cougars at Wrigley Field. Get ready for a day of fun with help from the famous chicken and enjoy $2 hot dogs and $3.50 Bud and Bud Light in the bleachers. Order your tickets today at Cubs.com.
It's up to Baker with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Changed him up.
Now, that might be one of the hardest jobs of a hitting coach, is reassuring a player who's had an at bat just like Giovanni Soto did, where he got a good pitch. He drove it hard toward the gap in right center. Unfortunately, Alex Rios is a pretty good defender out there, and it goes down as an 0 for 1 in the book. But I guarantee you Rudy liked his approach. Stay right there. Keep hitting them that hard. You're going to find some holes they're going to drop in.
A very challenging first year for Rudy as a Cubs hitting coach. A tireless worker. Little flinch by Gary Darling, but Baker's still in there, 1-2.
Really good changeup right on the outside corner at the knees. Brzezinski pulls it back up toward the strike zone. That's a good pitcher's pitch, but not a good strike.
Rollover grounder wide of third, foul. Speaking of Cubs charities, the annual Hey Dad Want to Have a Catch event, another success at the friendly confines yesterday. Hundreds of fans got to run the bases, play catch in the outfield, sit in the dugouts. Rain held off. We don't have an official final tally, but Cubs expecting it'll be around $50,000 for Cubs charities.
I had a chance to see some of that yesterday, peeking through the knothole on Sheffield Avenue.
Swing and a miss. They didn't let you in.
You got to know somebody.
3-2 Cubs.
This 4th of July, hang with some real freaks. Other than your friends and family, there's the sugar freak. the weirdo in a bat suit,
Nice outfit.
and the kinky dead dude.
It's showtime.
Get your freak on this 4th of July, starting at 6 East 3 West, only on WGN America.
Introducing Bud Light Lime in cans. The great taste of Bud Light Lime now goes wherever you need it to. Only the superior taste of Bud Light Lime with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor puts you in the summer state of mind. One taste and you'll find the summer state of mind. Bud Light Lime.
We're in the mood for baby back ribs for dinner tonight. Who's got them? And it has to be all you can eat.
Thanks for dropping by.
Golden Corral is the first ever to offer all the fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs you want, all on our endless dinner buffet for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
No, not now. Come on, please.
Oh, great.
Nothing's worse than a dead battery. And nothing's more reliable than a Duralast battery. Engineered to start day in and day out, even under the most extreme conditions. Duralast. Proven tough. Only at AutoZone.
We at the block party having fun.
The 2010 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN is brought to you by Bud Light Lime. The drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime.
Bob Brenly, Len Casper, and our WGN Sports crew from the South Side. Thanks to Dan Roan, best in the business, for hosting our pregame coverage today. I hate to give away his secret. I don't know what his secret is, but Kotze with a rainbow out to Bird. But you know, we all jot down little notes, especially when we go on camera, just to remind ourselves. I've never seen Dan write down anything. He just does it off the top of his head. He's as good as it gets, doing highlights and hosting.
And that's not an easy job, as we both know, and Dan makes it look very easy.
A.J. Pierzynski with one out. Ryan Dempster working with a 3-2 lead. Make sure you catch the WGN News at 9 and then instant replay at 9:40. All the highlights of this one today. Oh, 2 on Pierzynski. Mets leading the Twins 6-0 in New York. They're in the 6th. Twins shut them out yesterday behind Carl Pavano. What a year Pavano has had. It was a 3-hit shutout. So the White Sox potentially could get within a half a game, but Cubs hoping to prevent that. Jonathan Neese 4-hit shutout through 6 for the Mets as Pierzynski strikes out. Visit the official online shop of the Chicago Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the Cubs.com shop. Accept no substitutes. I don't know if they have a Lou Piniella number 43 jersey like we saw in Seattle. Probably a number 41, which is a little more authentic. Good slider on Ramirez, 1-1. One National League contest today, and it pits the Padres against the Marlins in Florida. 2-1 San Diego in the bottom of the 7th. That's the West leading San Diego Padres. After that one, the Marlins and the Mets are going to fly to Puerto Rico. Technically a Florida home series coming up. And technically the Phillies are on the road today, but they're playing in Philadelphia, leading the Blue Jays 7-2. It's a rubber match.
Mention that Western Division leading San Diego Padres. It's amazing what you can do with good pitching and good defense in this game. They're only hitting .245 as a team. That's the third lowest in the National League. However, they sit atop the National League in team ERA and second in overall defense. They've only made 31 errors this season. The Reds at 28, leading the National League.
Well, I have posed this hypothetical question to you before, and I believe your answer was, the question was, you could take an elite hitting club and a terrible pitching staff, or vice versa. What would you take? And I think we both agreed you'd take the pitching staff first and hope you could muster some runs one way or another. Makes for a really long season if you can't get people out. That's pulled down the line and foul out of play. Pitching, as always, is at a premium, although we've seen better pitching, I think, league-wide this year than in years past.
I don't think there's any question about that. Seems like at least once a week, if not more often, we've got guys going deep into the ball game with a no-hitter or a perfect game intact. We've seen a lot of very low-scoring ball games.
Edwin Jackson of the Diamondbacks, the latest to throw a no-hitter. 149 pitches a couple of nights ago at Tampa Bay.
Did he walk 7 or 8 in that ball game?
8.
8.
Yeah. I think 7 were in the first 3 innings. Dempster's 2-2 to Ramirez. That's floated out into right center and keeps the inning alive for Beckham. Seven hits, all singles for the Sox.
Pretty good at bat by the Sox shortstop right there, fouling off some real tough pitches from Ryan Dempster before ultimately just floating one out there into shallow right center. Didn't hit it hard, but he hit it in a good spot.
Had been and still is talk about Gordon Beckham, who has been allowed to play basically every day through a season-long slump. A little easier to carry a guy hitting .203 when you've won 11 in a row. They recently called up Dion Viciedo, who plays third. And there's been some talk about Vizquel maybe moving over to second. That has not yet happened. Nice play. Starlin Castro slings it across and gets Beckham. Off to the 5th. Cubs lead 3-2.
CC looks a bit rattled out there, and Dave Island is coming out for a visit.
Dave, I think we should put an organic garden in that bullpen.
I think we should organize a group hug for all of New York.
Mobile classrooms. That was your idea, wasn't it?
How about a pizza party for all of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Senior prom for senior citizens. I don't know about that one.
Pepsi's spending millions to fund refreshing ideas. Vote for ideas you care about at refresheverything.com.
See that girl in the stands? She got some great ideas.
We've been bought by Sunflash? They're sharks.
Man, they're young.
They're in the lobby.
Just for Men targets only the gray in 5 easy minutes.
Sunflash.
Nice.
Just for Men. Live forward.
And now I'll turn it over to the Gecko.
Ah, thank you, sir. As we all know, Geico has been saving people money on RV, camper and trailer insurance, as well as motorcycle insurance. Ah, sorry. Technical difficulties.
What about this?
What's this one do? Maybe that one.
Okay, let's keep rolling. We run motorcycle insurance?
Take 15 minutes to see how much you could save on motorcycle, RV, and camper insurance.
Keaton always said, I don't believe in God, but I'm afraid of him. Well, I believe in God, and the only thing that scares me is Kaiser Soze.
Jack is dead. You can call me Joker. And as you can see, I'm a lot happier.
Now time for the 5th inning, brought to you by Subway. Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win? 5 $5 footlongs from Subway. Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. I don't know if, like Wrigley, they just have one of the members of the grounds crew come out and just spray the fans in the bleachers, but this would be the day to do it. One and 2 to Castro. Made a nice defensive play. We'll get Beckham. Ground ball to third. Vizquel. Maybe the smoothest defender in baseball.
Time to take a look at our BMW drive of the game. No doubt about it. Tyler Colvin's 3-run home run to right field, putting the Cubs on top for the first time in this crosstown series. Only BMW offers ultimate service. Buy a BMW now and pay 0 maintenance costs for 4 years or 50,000 miles, whichever comes first.
Outside, ball 1. '86 and rising. Another hit for Colvin. He's 2 for 3.
I mention it every time I see Tyler Colvin taking it bat against the lefty. He hangs in there so well, doesn't even pick up that front foot, just a slight rocking action to transfer his weight to the back foot. No stride whatsoever, just tries to be extremely quick with his hands, and that time it resulted in a base hit up the middle.
Well, no DH starting tomorrow for the rest of the way, and assuming Derek Lee's back is well enough to allow him to play first. Another base hit. Colvin holding at second. Back-to-back singles in front of D. Lee. But Paul Maholm, a left-hander, goes for the Pirates tomorrow night. I think there's a good chance Colvin will be in there somewhere, probably in right.
Well, based on the at-bats we've seen today and the way he has swung the bat over the last 3 weeks since becoming a semi-regular player, I'd say he'd have to be in there somewhere. When you've got a team that is starved for offense, as the Cubs have been recently, pretty tough to take out one of your best hitters.
Wouldn't be a terrible idea for the Cubs to add on here, would it?
No, not at all. We talked about the confidence that the White Sox are playing with. They feel like they're never out of the ball game, and the way they've been swinging the bats lately, you can't blame them. So you better take every opportunity to tack on some runs if you get the chance.
Our biggest fan.
That Justin Bieber looked on.
He got a haircut.
I know you're a big
That'd
Justin
so
Bieber
hot.
fan, you know.
Oh yeah, right. Well, I'm not 12 anymore, but back then, yeah, maybe. Who knows? Corbin at second, Bird at first. 3-2 Cubs in the 5th. Another foul by Derek.
I mentioned Derek Lee was called out on a high changeup back in the 3rd inning. He was taking no chances there with 2 strikes. That pitch was probably up a little bit, but I'm not really sure. We've seen pitches that high called strikes in this game. You got to be ready to protect.
Slide step, swing, and he fouled it back. Boy, the Cubs designated hitters this year have been, quite frankly, awful. 4 now for 36. No more DH after today. That gets by. And bounds past Brzezinski the other way. Wild pitch on Danks.
Second time in this ball game. Once for Ryan Dempster, this time for John Danks. We've seen a wild pitch that was so bad the catcher couldn't get leather on it. That ball was behind the left-handed batter's box. Brzezinski's on the corner, but can't make that adjustment quickly enough on a fastball.
A little bit different at bat now for Derek, even though he has 2 strikes. Good contact here will give the Cubs an extra run. Fair ball. That's going to score 2. Coleman in. Bird right behind him, and Derek Lee has a 2-run double. Good to see the DH come through.
Boy, Danks had been trying to stay away from Derek Lee with fastballs and changeups in his first couple of at-bats in this game. Tried to come in with a slider. I'll tell you, Derek Lee may have some issues with that back, but when you try to pitch him inside, he's as quick as he ever was. Buggy whips that ball down into the left field corner to drive home 2 teammates.
(5-2) now, and the pitching coach Don Cooper out. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Out of Sight Retro Night tonight at 6 East 3 West on WGN America.
Cubs have been in this spot, unfortunately, way too often, losing the first 2 games and trying to salvage a finale. However, they do lead 5-2, so that's the good news today. Mentioned the other day they have now dropped 9 consecutive series openers. They hope to change that up tomorrow against the Pirates and start winning some series. Danks with a 1-1. It's low. 2 balls and a strike. Right-hander Tony Pena is up. We're hearing the Cub fans make a lot of noise for the first time this weekend. The team leading by 3. Ramirez backhands, and the throw is dug out by Mark Kotze on a tough short hop. Some balls in the dirt aren't that difficult for most first basemen, but that was a long short hop, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, well, we've seen Alexi Ramirez throw about 5 balls in the dirt on plays very similar to this. Even though this ball is in the hole, he knows he has time, but he rushes his throw. Short hops Kotze, a long short hop, as you said. Not an easy play for a first baseman. Kotze makes it look easy. Now, Ramirez having all kinds of trouble getting that ball across the infield in the air.
Ramirez fouls out of play. I don't know, we call it a medium hop. I don't know what you'd call it.
A tweener.
A tweener.
Not a short hop, not a long hop, a tweener.
Two big run-scoring extra base hits for the Cubs in this one. 3-run homer and a 2-run double. That's why they lead 5-2.
And some long at-bats for the Cubs hitters after those first 2 innings when they went very quickly when the Cubs were batting. They've really made Danks work here over the last 3 innings. They got his pitch count up to 88, 89 now. Not that pitch count is a big issue for John Danks. He's gone over 100 every start this year, with the exception of his last time out when he only threw 99.
Ramirez went down and popped it up. Kotze in fair territory makes the grab. Derek Lee, 2-run double. 5-2 Cubs midway in the 5th.
When you're trying to lose weight, the more options you have, the more likely you are to stay on track. That's why there are 9 delicious kinds of Special K cereal. Because every girl could use a little variety. Special K, now in 9 delicious flavors.
Nice finger. A wart could get used to this. Liquid wart remover. That's all you got? That could take weeks to treat me.
Did it get cold? Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away removes warts fast with as little as 1 treatment.
You'll miss me.
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away.
Built with quality and backed with the best coverage in America, including a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. That's 40,000 more miles than Ford. Chevy Silverado half-ton, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy, and the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. Get 0% APR for 72 months on 2010 Silverado half-ton models with an average finance savings around $6,000.
Introducing the Wall Lithium-Ion Groomer. With up to 3 times the runtime, up to twice the power, and a 1-minute quick charge. The Wall Lithium-Ion Groomer. It's positively better.
Give yourself an edge. New One-A-Day Men's Pro Edge. A complete multivitamin with more magnesium to help support healthy muscle function. More B vitamins to help convert food to fuel. More confidence in a healthy you. New One-A-Day Men's Pro Edge.
15 minutes could save you 15%. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO.
Time now to look at our PNC Cubs achiever. Carlos Silva last night against the White Sox once again pitched well enough to win. Came away with a no decision. 8-2 on the season with an ERA just over 3. PNC Bank is proud to be an official sponsor of the Chicago Cubs and just as proud to support the fans and community who cheer them on. PNC for the achiever in all of us.
1-0 on Juan Pierre, top of the Sox lineup. Cubs leading 5-2. Two and one. Baker gets a good hop and throws out Pierre. Bring up Vizquel, who is 1 for 2 with a run. Detroit leading at Atlanta 8-4 in the top of the 6th. Boy, what a way to end the game yesterday as the Tigers made a furious 9th inning comeback. I think there were 3 or 4 walks in a row, and Peter Moylan struck out Johnny Damon with the bases loaded in a 1-run game on a 3-2 pitch as Vizquel singles in front of Soriano, a pitch that looked to be way off the plate. And the umpire after the game, Gary Cedarstrom, said, yeah, didn't look too good.
James Saneni of Mundelein is today's Hit the Jackpot with Powerball contestant. If the Cubs hit a home run in the next inning, James Saneni will win 100 chances to win the Powerball jackpot. Wednesday's jackpot is worth $27 million.
I like the subtle change we've seen when it comes to umpires, and that is when they make mistakes. By and large, they publicly say that they either got it wrong or that it didn't look good in the case of Cedarstrom. In this day and age of instant replay and more video than ever, you can't hide from it. And I like that the umpires are a little more accessible after the fact. And you get their explanation on why they called it the way they did.
Well, and really that's the way it ought to be, Len. I mean, you know, some of the calls that we've seen mistaken this year have had tremendous effects on not only individual players but on teams. And as you said, it's not like you can hide from it. Every game is televised nowadays. There's multiple replay angles of every play, so you might as well fess up.
Bill Hahn got into a heated exchange with Roy Oswalt, tossed him out. Oswalt said he didn't say anything to him. That's a different issue than you know, making a call at the plate, or in the case of Jim Joyce at first base, taking away a perfect game. Long pause by Dempster, the 2-1 pitch. Castro shuffling over. Baker the turn. Double play. That gets Dempster out of the fifth. A 6-4-3 to end it. 5-2 Cubs.
Why is it that the good patients always die and the pains in the ass just go on and on?
Yeah. Why is that?
You've been wearing that bracelet since junior high?
We need to talk to you about this dedicated claims rep thing.
Okay. Well,
calling yourselves dedicated? We're all dedicated, okay? The entire website team worked late every night this week. Look at Sanjeev. He's a mess.
But, guys, no. We're called dedicated claims reps because we each stay with an Esurance customer throughout the automobile claims process.
Yeah.
It's not because we think we work harder than you.
Well, you don't.
Am I a mess?
You slept in the vending machine.
Call today or go to esurance.com.
I don't know what I was looking for exactly. I just started building my family tree on Ancestry.com. And I got a message from another member. She was a distant cousin who had photographs of my great-grandmother that I'd never seen before.
Visit Ancestry.com and discover the world's largest online family history resource.
Turns out you don't have to know what you're looking for. You just have to start looking.
Your discovery starts right now on Ancestry.com.
Look, we've all dealt with the itching of athlete's foot. I can't just wash it away. Killing it takes clinical strength. I only use Lotrimin Ultra. Its powerful formula can even cure severe cases of athlete's foot. Nothing cures better. Lotrimin Ultra, the killer cure.
No matter what life throws at you, you can take the heat till it turns into heartburn. You've got what it takes. Zantac. It's strong, fast, lasting relief. So let them turn up the heat. You can stop that heartburn cold. Zantac.
You're watching Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN, your official summer baseball station. Cubs lead the Southsiders 5-2. Visitors bat here in the 6th. Ball one from Danks to Soriano. Good stretch here for Alfonso. 9 hits over his previous 5 starts. And he's in a hitter's count here, 2-0. Make it 3-0.
And it looks like Fonzie's seeing the ball much better recently. There was a time there where he was kind of jumping out there again, anticipating pitches rather than recognizing pitches. And when you see that front foot come down and he does not offer at those off-speed pitches, that's a good sign that he's seeing the ball well.
Ball 4. He has taken 2 walks today. And I think Ozzie has seen enough. Tony Peña's been ready for a while. A rare non-quality start for the White Sox. It's Pena coming in, 5-2 Cubs.
Dish Network asked, which one of these is standard def and which one of these is high def?
That's high def.
I like the way this looks way better. Like right there.
It's crisp, it's clear.
I want this picture. I want this quality. I guess I'll have to pay free. Bam!
Wow. Exciting news. Dish Network gives you free HD for life. Now get over 120 top channels, your local channels, all for just $24.99 a month for a full year.
The HD is free only for life.
Where do I sign up? I'm going to switch to Dish.
Got a good gig.
Call and switch to Dish Network today.
You've been wearing that bracelet since junior high?
We need to talk to you about this dedicated claims rep thing.
Okay. Well,
Calling yourselves dedicated? We're all dedicated, okay? The entire website team worked late every night this week. Look at Sanjeev. He's a mess.
What? Guys,
No.
we're called dedicated claims reps because we each stay with an Esurance customer throughout the automobile claims process.
Yeah.
It's not because we think we work harder than you.
Well, you don't. Am I a mess?
You slept in the vending machine.
Call today or go to esurance.com.
Nice finger. A wart could get used to this. Liquid wart remover. That's all you got? That could take weeks to treat me.
Did it get cold? Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away removes warts fast with as little as one treatment.
You'll miss me.
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away.
For a limited time, you can carry out a large Domino's pizza with any 2 toppings for $5.99. But there is one stipulation. Limit 256 per day. That is not happening.
For a limited time, carry out a large 2-topping inspired new pizza for just $5.99.
Let's check out our AT&T U-verse replay. The Cubs middle infielders have had some issues applying tags at second base. In the ball game last night, Starlin Castro on your left gets fooled by the now you see me, now you don't slide of Juan Pierre. Pulled the tag out too soon. Pierre was safe. Jeff Baker, on the other hand, on the right side of your screen, put the bag down, or rather put the glove down in front of the base, let the runner come to him, and easily got the out at second base. Find out more of what's possible at AT&T.com. AT&T, rethink possible.
Righty Tony Pena makes his second appearance of this series. 1-2-3 ninth in a 6-0 White Sox win on Friday. Keeping a close watch on Soriano as Soto bats. Gio 1 for 2 with a single, a run, and he is lined out to center. Turns on it, fair ball right inside the chalk down the left field line. Soriano on his way to third. He's going to be sent home by Mike Quaddy, and he will get there standing. 6-2.
Second hit of the ball game for Giovanni Soto to go along with a line drive out to center field. Great base running this time by Alfonso Soriano. Off with the crack of the bat. That ball just inside the chalk down the third baseline. And Cubs are well aware of Juan Pierre's weak throwing arm. Soriano never slows down. Mike Quaddy never hesitated sending him on home. RBI double for Giovanni Soto.
Closes the book on the starter Danks, charged with 6 runs in 5 innings plus. And now for the White Sox, including today, over their last 18 games, only their second non-quality start. Swing by Baker, tapped it foul to Mike Quaddy at third base.
You know, Len, we know Giovanni Soto's not going to attempt to steal third base, especially with nobody out in the inning. But this is just a blatant lack of respect by the White Sox middle infielders. Nobody close to that bag at second. He could take another 6 or 7 steps on his leadoff out there, and there's still nobody in the vicinity. That's what happens to all catchers.
Baker wondering if that was strike 3. I think he thought it was strike 3, and it is. So somebody was confused about the count.
Well, the scoreboard is not always correct. We know that. Gary Darling with what appeared to be just a normal strike call. Usually an umpire will have a more definitive strike 3 call. That time everybody a little bit confused.
So Baker has now struck out all 3 times. And it's Starlin Castro who pops it down the right field line. A long run for Quentin. A sliding attempt, but he came up short.
Long run for Carlos Quentin. He leads with his glove, protects himself, flopping onto his left side as he slides over there toward that side wall. And make it count. New life here for Starlin Castro.
Bouncer to Vizquel. 2 outs.
I tell you, Omar Vizquel at third base reminds me a little bit of David Eckstein at any position. He just has enough arm to get it over there on a routine ground ball. Just enough arm to get that runner streaking down the first baseline. Third base is a position where normally you'll see the strongest throwing arm in the infield, but Vizquel has just enough to get his man.
He looks slightly more effortless in his throws than Eckstein, but you had a 20-year-old Starlin Castro grounding out to a 43-year-old Omar Vizquel.
Yeah, you don't get extra points or extra outs for firing a rocket across that infield. All you have to do is get the ball to first base before the runner.
Big day for Colvin. Go ahead 3-run homer, 2 hits, 2 runs. Foul on a play. White Sox with their 4th sellout of the year. 39,682. Those, I guess, would be the Bob Uecker seats. She used to call the front row. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Cubs add 1, 6-2. They have the lead.
Put a refreshing spin on your summer. Bud Light Lime. Superior drinkability. Ultimate refreshment. A splash of 100% natural lime flavor. One taste and you'll find the summer state of mind. Bud Light Lime.
The Craftsman Hammerhead. The only auto hammer worthy of the Craftsman name. Engineered to drive home nails with the touch of a button. More innovation, more great values. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
When we get back, we're going to have a hero's welcome. Can we ride around town and on donkeys? What? Donkeys? Yeah, I heard you. That's just so strange, I guess.
Kool-Aid goes almost 3 times further than soda. Kool-Aid, delivering more smiles per gallon.
For a limited time, you can carry out a large Domino's pizza with any 2 toppings for $5.99. But there is one stipulation. Limit 256 per day. That is not happening.
For a limited time, carry out a large 2-topping Inspire new pizza for just $5.99.
Last time around, the Pirates took it to the Cubs. Now, the Cubs are looking for a little payback. Tuesday at 8 Eastern, WGN America.
Bud Light rocks Chicago with the return of the Bud Light Concert Series. Uproar Fest featuring Disturbed is playing First Midwest Bank Amphitheater on August 21st. Get your tickets at livenation.com. The Summer Concert Series is brought to you by Bud Light. Live music and Bud Light. Here we go.
That's funny. Pat Hughes told me about 3 years ago he thought that band would make it big one day, and he was right.
He was right.
Pat listens to relax after games. 1-0 on Paul Konerko. He has struck out both times against Ryan Dempster, and he hooks one into the corner foul. Konerko began the day at 302, now down to 299. And a deep drive to left. Konerko now on a 10-game hitting streak. That is his 20th homer of the year. His 49th career home run in interleague play.
Well, and one of the things that makes Paul Konerko such a dangerous hitter is his experience. He's a smart hitter. He has an idea of how pitchers are going to go after him. Last night it was a 100-mile-an-hour fastball from Andrew Kashner. Today he guesses right on a breaking ball from Ryan Dempster, and same result.
Makes it a 6-3 game, and Quentin looks at a strike. So with that home run, Konerko has now tied Frank Thomas for the White Sox record of 11 years of 20 or more homers. I haven't checked on Jose Bautista and Miguel Cabrera. They were at 20 going into the day, but Konerko is tied for the major league lead in home runs. The big hurt. I'll tell you, that home run got the White Sox fans back into it, even though they still trail by 3. 3-1 on Quentin. Well, when you're playing as well as the White Sox are, I'm sure there's a little bit of a feeling of invincibility. Come to the park expecting to win.
In a way, you're playing with house money today. The White Sox have already won the first 2 games of the series. They know they're going to win the series. They've already taken home the trophy. Not that they let up today whatsoever, but they've got that going for them.
Cub fans, if you want to manage the game along with Lou, log on to WGNTV.com. Right now, click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner and connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and info while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio and play sets, hot tubs, and more.
Do we know if any of the White Sox players took the BP Cup out on the town last night?
I don't know the answer to that.
Worked pretty good for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, well, you know, day game after a night game. They probably didn't want to be out too late. 2 strikes on Kotze.
Yeah, the sun has gone down and the moon has come up, and long ago somebody left with the cup. Omar Vizquel hoisting the BP Cup over to his teammates and team captain Paul Konerko. You don't see that often on a baseball field, especially not in the middle of a season.
One and two. Dempster coming back on a 1-2. Missed on a heater. 2-2. Przinsky next. For the cycle with Atlanta against the Cubs a couple of years ago. It was August 14th of that year. 1500th career hit. On the 4th hit to complete it, a double. 5 for 5. And he went around. That's a strikeout.
Good pitch by Dempster. Gets the check swing. Not sure if that was the splitter or the hard slider. We talk about it all the time. Sometimes Dempster gets that slider to go straight down to the ground. It looks very similar to his split finger, but based on the velocity, I think that was the splitter. Yeah, that game that Kotze had with the Braves, we talked about it at the time, and we talked about it again playing this series. If he'd had 12 at bats, he'd have gone 12 for 12.
Yeah,
he was as locked in as any hitter I'd ever seen.
No doubt. Strike to AJ. Two. The old school socks, looks like the BP jersey in the early 80s. Late swing just to stay alive. First place Reds are trailing at home to the Indians. And it's 4-1 in the bottom of the 6th. The latest the Reds have been in first place since 1999. They're a half game up on St. Louis. And the Cardinals trailing 7-2 at Kansas City. And the Royals 6th. Albert Pujols with his 16th home run. That was a solo shot. Swing and a miss. Went after the high cheese and couldn't get it. A leadoff homer by Konerko makes it 6-3 after 6. Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Submit your idea at refresheverything.com.
CC looks a bit rattled out there, and Dave Island is coming out for a visit. Dave, I think we should put organic garden in that bullpen.
I think we should organize a group hug for all of New York.
Mobile classrooms, that was your idea, wasn't it?
How about a pizza party for all of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Senior prom for senior citizens. I don't know about that one.
Pepsi's spending millions to fund refreshing ideas. Vote for ideas you care about at refresheverything.com.
See that girl in the stands? She got some great ideas.
Fact. Children's Advil brings your child's fever down faster and keeps it down longer than children's Tylenol. Not even children's Motrin is proven better. For relief you can trust, look for Children's Advil in the cough cold aisle now.
Oh, no! I just parked here a second ago! Give me a break, will you? No.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles with 2 different gels for softness and support are outrageously comfortable.
On second thought, I think I'll walk.
Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
Juicy Johnsonville sausage, made with only premium cuts of pork since 1945. Johnsonville, sausage is all we do.
I got into one of the best schools in the country! I got into one of the most expensive schools in the country!
When stress gives you heartburn with headache, Alka-Seltzer gives you relief fast. Plop, plop. Fizz, fizz.
Cubs up by 3 as we head to the top half of the 7th inning. A.J. Pierzynski with his 3rd consecutive strikeout of the ball game. A little frustration bubbling over in that third base side, too. Tried to throw his helmet into the helmet container there, and it spit it right back out. So he fires it down the steps. And we talked about it last week. It's getting to be that time of year. The weather's starting to heat up. The pennant races are heating up. And some of the guys look at the numbers, are not quite where they want to be, and frustration starts to boil over.
Pierzynski and Baker have combined to go 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts. Arlen Bird looks at a Tony Pena breaking ball. Ball 1.
I don't know if guys still do this, Len, but back in the day, you know, for example, Jeff Baker and A.J. Pierzynski hitting in that 8th spot in the lineup, having real rough days, the both of them. When you come to the ballpark tomorrow, you don't want to hit 8th because they messed it up bad. That spot is ruined.
Carlos Quentin puts it away. Want to see a Cubs game from the front row at Wrigley Field? Now you can. Visit Cubs.com. Click on the CBOE front row seats auction to bid on tickets in the front row behind home plate and along the first base line. Front row seats will be auctioned off to every game all season long. Don't miss your chance. Go to Cubs.com. Check out the CBOE front row seats auction today. Derek Lee swings and misses. Where the Nationals have fallen on hard times. All the excitement about Steven Strasburg. They have now lost 12 of 15. They got swept in Baltimore. Base hit right field. Derek 2 for 4. The Orioles had gone 0-12-1 over their last 13 series before sweeping the Nationals.
Nice controlled swing that time by Derek Lee on a pitch on the outside corner. He spoils it by spanking it through that right side of the infield for a clean base hit.
Cubs starting the day in 4th, a game behind Milwaukee. And the Brewers lead Seattle 3-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Up in Wisconsin, Chris Narveson hasn't given up anything through 7. Deep to center, but playable for Rios.
Say that again. Chris Narveson hasn't given up anything through 7.
No runs.
Oh, okay.
3 hits, no runs.
Okay.
Our Len and Bob's weekly podcast will be updated after the game. Make sure you check it out starting tomorrow on WGNTV.com. Yeah, Ricky Weeks 4 for 4 in that game, including his 13th home run. All right, here's one for you. The Pirates and the A's just started. They're scoreless in the bottom of the first. Ross Ohlendorf and Gio Gonzalez. The Pirates have dropped 16 straight on the road. From the Cubs' perspective, would you rather see them win today or have them come to Wrigley Field overdue for a win?
I think from the Cubs' perspective, you just better focus on winning this game.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. There's I think a general consensus among major league managers. You never want to face a team that's in the midst of a long losing streak or the end of a long losing streak. As the rhythms and cycles and percentages of this game are going to say they're going to turn it around at some point. They may not turn around and win 16 in a row, but they're going to win some games. So I get your point. Let them win today and then start another 16-game losing streak tomorrow.
There you go. Cubs owe the Pirates. They've gone 2-7 against them this season. Two to Ramirez, and the liner is picked by Alexei Ramirez. 6-3 as we stretch on the south side.
This 4th of July, hang with some real freaks. Other than your friends and family, there's the sugar freak. The weirdo in a bat suit.
Nice outfit.
And the kinky dead dude.
It's showtime.
Get your freak on this 4th of July, starting at 6 East 3 West, only on WGN America.
Hey, those Gecko ringtones you put on our website are wonderful. People love them.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Turned out nice.
Got another one for you.
At Geico.com, it's easy to get a free rate quote, manage your policy, make payments, or even file a claim.
Now that's a ringtone.
Yeah, it's interesting. Certainly not the worst ringtone I've ever heard. Yeah, that might be the worst.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Painting will never be the same. Wagner brings you the only power painter with Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology. Only from Wagner. The finish you want. The value you're looking for.
Happy 25th birthday, Blizzard! Check it out! Every party needs a clown, right?
I didn't have a clown at my birthday. Me neither.
Turning 9 does not compare with being the world's greatest treat for 25 years, okay?
Clowns are earned, kids.
We are.
Celebrate the Blizzard's 25th with the Strawberry Golden Oreo Blizzard with Golden Oreo cookies and strawberries. Then follow the party tour at DQ.com. And this month, try our Strawberry Golden Oreo Blizzard cake.
Let's check in on today's Honda CR-V Games summary. Big jolt provided by leadoff man Tyler Colvin. Go-ahead 3-run homer in the 3rd. Derek Lee's had a good day today. 2-run double in the 5th. And a lot of the Sox hits have been singles. Konerko with the home run. Visit your Honda dealer and test drive a 2010 Honda CR-V. So Dempster will continue on here in the last of the 7th with the Cubs leading 6-3.
Just over 100 pitches, 108 before this inning starts here for Ryan Dempster this afternoon. And with the state of the Cubs bullpen, not that it's been extremely overworked, but they've certainly thrown a lot more innings than they needed to in the last 24 hours. And the deeper Lou can go with this starting pitcher today, the better for that bullpen. Looks like Larry's going to get on the phone and at least get some bodies moving out there in right field. The Cubs bullpen behind the right field wall. The White Sox behind the left field corner.
So while they discuss things, Ryan Dempster will work to Ramirez, Beckham, and Pierre. Sean Marshall being stretched out. Andrew Kashner went 2 innings last night. I guess I would assume he is available, but if you can go Dempster to Marshall to Marmol, that's probably an ideal setup. Give Kashner a day off. Not a factor at the moment, but the White Sox today did place their closer Bobby Jenks on the bereavement/family medical emergency list and have purchased the contract of left-hander Eric Threets from AAA to replace him. Jenks has to stay on that list for at least 3 days. Matt Thornton came in, got the save last night.
That's been a small, subtle change in Major League Baseball over the last few years. That bereavement list, I think it's a tremendous idea. Everybody, whether you're a ball player or just a normal civilian, you have issues you have to deal with your family. You have deaths in the family, and I'm not sure exactly what's going on with Bobby Jenks and his family. We wish them the best and hope they get through this tough time. But it made it tough on the teams because you would lose a player for 2, 3, 4 days if they went away for a funeral or whatever the case may be, and you just had to play a man down. Now you can replace a player that's placed on the bereavement list, as you said, a minimum of 3 days.
Ramirez grounds into the hole. Castro off balance throw. Got him. Well, I think the Cubs got a break. Alexei Ramirez is livid. Bruce Dreckman made the call, and here comes Ozzie. From up here, looked like he was safe, but the Cubs will gladly take it.
I would tend to agree with you, Len. Look with the naked eye like Ramirez beat that throw to first base. What a great play by Starlin Castro. However, he had to get rid of that ball quickly, got a lot on his throw. He knew he had to hurry. You could see Ramirez leaning out of the box as he made contact. The strong overhand throw. Woo.
Really wasn't close. So 1 out here in the 7th. Thank you, Bruce Dreckman.
Yes, indeed. And not to make any excuses, Len, because the Cubs haven't hit well with runners in scoring position consistently. They made some fundamental mistakes from time to time, but the reality is they haven't caught a break all year.
You're right.
And maybe some of those calls will start to go their way.
Well, that could loom very large. Outside to Beckham.
You guys are missing a heck of a game.
I just heard the proverbial "you guys are missing a heck of a game" from an anonymous Sox fan. I'm sure the umpires haven't heard that one before.
They've heard them all.
Two and one.
Quite a reaction from the Sox shortstop after he was called out over there at first base. Watch him as he goes down the line. He calls himself safe, and he was trying to slam his helmet down, but it slid off the back and rolled to the ground. That may have saved him an ejection right there.
Nady picks it, steps on first.
Talking about catching a break. We caught a monster break on the weather today. I didn't think there was any way these two teams would even get an opportunity to step foot on the field today based on what we saw this morning.
This should be the final inning for Dempster. 1-1. Team with 9 hits. Cubs lead, or it counts, 6-3. Newcomer Brian Schlitter came over from the Phillies organization for Scott Air. Foul tip, strike 3. That ends the 7th. Nice job, Ryan Dempster. 8 strikeouts on the day, and the Cubs lead by 3.
Frosted strawberry as an ice cream sandwich. Chocolate fudge on a stick, please.
With the endless possibilities of Kellogg's Pop-Tarts, it's sure to be a picture-perfect summer. Pop-Tarts, made for fun.
We're in the mood for baby back ribs for dinner tonight. Who's got them? And it has to be all you can eat.
Thanks for dropping by. Golden Corral is the first ever to offer all the fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs you want, all on our endless dinner buffet for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
So, Doctor, I've been thinking, you know how, no. So, Doc, I've got this friend.
Talking to your doctor about erectile dysfunction isn't easy.
Actually, Doc, there is something I want to talk to you about.
But it's definitely a conversation worth having. 20 million men have had their Viagra talk. When you're ready for yours, visit Viagra.com for helpful conversation starters and to learn how Viagra can help. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing. It's time to take a deep breath and ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Everything's a perfect game at WGN America.
Cubs lead at 6-3 as we head to the top half of the 8th. Ryan Dempster with high fives from his teammates as he got back to that first base dugout. We're assuming his afternoon is over. We don't know that for sure, but an outstanding effort by Ryan Dempster today.
Thank you. Tony Pena continues on after 2 innings in relief of John Danks. Looks from the windup with nobody on, and Soriano with a towering fly ball, still carrying Juan Pierre back on the warning track. Gone! Man, he got it way up in the air, and it carried out. 7-3. Did you think that was going out?
I thought that was a medium depth at best fly ball to left when it came off the bat, just because it was so high. It didn't have the trajectory that led you to believe it was going to get out of here. That just looked like a high pop-up, shallow left. I think Soriano thought the same thing, but Pierre started drifting, and then eventually turns and runs back to the wall. That ball got into the bullpen in left field.
His 301st career home run. 2 for the Cubs today, and they lead by 4.
It's been a good day at the plate for Fonzie today. Flied out to right field his first at bat, and then back-to-back walks, laying off some real tough pitchers' pitches before the home run to left field, leading off here in the 8th.
Oh yeah! And that's smacked into left. So Soto with a 3-hit day.
It's kind of hard to gauge what the wind is actually doing at field level. The flags atop the stadium appear to be blowing out. No matter where you look, the ones on the left side of the field are blowing out to left. The ones on the right side of the field are blowing out to right. Well, obviously the ball carrying extremely well here under the conditions today.
So that's it for Pena. We'll be back. 7-3 Cubs.
For guys, kidding is the highest compliment.
Hey, everybody look at Gabe, bringing back the V-neck. Well done. That top button is fighting for its life.
I love the stash, but where'd you dock the steamboat?
Hey, Steve, they make that shirt any tighter?
Even Europe thinks your pants are too tight. Has he told you about his scrapbooking?
But when the kidding ends, we reach for the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
Thanks to the new venture card from Capital One, we get double miles with every purchase. So we earned a tropical vacation in half the time. We earn double miles every time we use our card. Double miles add up fast so we can bring the whole gang.
Awesome!
It's hard to beat double miles. Everyone knows 2 is better than 1.
Introducing the Venture Card from Capital One with double miles on every purchase every day. Go to CapitalOne.com.
Hey, what's in your wallet? Wait up!
Figure it out. Join the team, be an X-Man.
Still alive, baby?
That's rad.
Yes? I like it. Ooh, cool.
So the Cubs now leading 7-3. It's been a really good day for a much maligned offense.
And this is how you know when things are starting to go your way. What appeared to be a pop-up into shallow left field ended up in the front row of the bleachers behind the White Sox bullpen. Well, maybe the worm has turned a little bit.
Randy Williams, a left-hander, is on for the White Sox, whose previous loss came at Wrigley Field 2 weeks ago today. And their 11-game winning streak since now in major jeopardy. 6-4-3. Well, Jeff Baker has had a very rough day. Actually, a strikeout, which would have been his 4th of the day, would have been a better result than a double play. 2 outs. And he'll take solace in the fact the Cubs are leading by 4.
I say it all the time. Somebody has to make the outs. As long as the rest of your offense is clicking on all cylinders the way the Cubs have today, you'll gladly wear the collar if it means your team brings home a W.
You always have the proper perspective, and I know that was your career motto.
I had plenty of time to use it, too.
Somebody has to make the outs. That'd be a good one to drop on a manager. Yeah. Can't you ever get a hit? Hey, Skip, somebody's got to make the outs. You had dinner plans tonight.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right.
Managers don't buy it quite as easily as broadcasters do. So I can get you to agree with me on that. I could never get a manager to agree with me.
Well, you know, when it would work, you know, if you have a team that averages like 7 runs a game, you know, you're winning 9 out of every 10, leading your division by 15 games. You got one guy in your lineup. You go, well, you know, he's the guy who makes the outs. Everybody else drives in runs, scores runs. This guy makes the outs.
And he's your most valuable player on getaway day. Keeps the game moving.
Starlin Castro lifts to deep left center. Rios and Pierre going after it. It's going to be right off the wall at the Billy Pierce sign, and Castro has a double. His second hit. Everybody pitching in at the plate. Except Baker, but he's making the outs.
Taking one for the team. Castro waited well on a breaking ball. Maybe got just a little bit out in front, but got enough of it to drive it into the gap between Pierre and Rios and off of that wall for an easy double.
By Przinski on ball 2. Andy Williams was a 10th round pick of the Chicago Cubs in 1997. And a base hit to right. Castro coming around. Quentin up with it. And he will not throw to the plate. 8-3. Tyler Colvin with 4 RBIs.
Maybe not as majestic as his home run to right field, but another base hit against a left-handed pitcher for Tyler Colvin. Stayed in there, a hard rollover ground ball through the right side. Looked like Quentin may have had a shot at home plate on Castro, but decided just to hang on to the ball. Make sure Colvin did not advance to second.
Goes up to get it, and that ends the inning. The Cubs add 2 to their lead. Bottom 8, 8-3. Northsiders.
Why is it that the good patients always die and the pains in the ass just go on and on?
Yeah, why is that?
Over 1,000 people a day are switching to Chevy. They like that vehicles like the 2010 Malibu, Traverse, and Silverado Half-Ton have each been named to Consumer's Digest Best Buy. They like that Chevy backs the quality with a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. They're not just trading in, they're trading up. Qualified lessees now get a low-mileage lease on this Malibu LS for around $199 a month. Call for details. The switch to Chevy starts at ChevyDealer.com.
Hi, can I borrow some milk?
Just a second.
Just for men. Targets only the gray in 5 easy minutes.
Anything else?
Just for men.
For a limited time, you can carry out a large Domino's pizza with any 2 toppings for $5.99. But there is one stipulation. Limit 256 per day. That is not happening.
For a limited time, carry out a large 2-topping inspired new pizza for just $5.99.
This is what it's like getting an amazing discount on a hotel with Travelocity's new top secret hotels. And this is what it's like when you have to bid on a hotel. Travelocity's top secret hotels. Bidding.
Naughty fish.
Introducing Travelocity's top secret hotels. The new easy way to get unpublished discounts of up to 45% off 3- and 4-star hotels without the hassle of bidding. Which makes Travelocity the best place for hotel deals.
You're watching Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN, your official summer baseball station.
Left-hander Sean Marshall comes on. The Cubs leading 8-3 here in the bottom of the 8th. And he will face Dion Viciedo, who's going to bat for Omar Vizquel. I've seen him a little bit in spring training. 1 ball, no strikes on the rookie Viciedo. Bounced foul. 2 hands on it. Jeff Cox.
Viciedo was having himself a nice season, hitting .290 with 14 doubles, 14 homers, 34 runs driven in just 62 games before his call up here to the major league level. Hasn't played much since being called up here to the big leagues.
He's from Cuba. The White Sox signed him as a free agent in December of '08. Got a 4-year contract. Remedios, Cuba, played for the Cuban national team at different levels for 10 years. Defected in '08. And a ground ball to Starlin Castro.
Viciedo left Cuba to get away from Castro, and Starlin Castro retires him at first base. Go figure.
Alex Rios is 2 for 3. Tall lefty. Coaxes a ground ball to Castro again. He throws out Rios. 2 up, 2 down for Marshall. And you want to face Paul Konerko with nobody on.
No question. You know, Len, I watch catchers obviously a lot during the course of the game. Watch Giovanni Soto after he gives his sign for the slider inside to a right-handed pull hitter. You see the glove over there flapping behind Rios? That's to let Aramis Ramirez know that there's an off-speed pitch coming inside. If Rios is going to hit that ball, he's likely going to hit it to the left side of the infield. Just a way to alert your defenders that there's a good chance the ball might be coming your way.
And a Dave Kingman-like day for Paul Konerko. 2 strikeouts and a home run. Equipment issue for Soto. There's a closer, Marmol, who will still probably be used even in a non-save spot. Off to Marlon Byrd, who will make the catch with a 2-iron shot off the bat of Konerko. 8-3 as we go to the 9th.
Where the blazes is Jefferson? TJ? He's probably still writing that declaration.
There he is.
Gentlemen, here we go. Would you like to be the second lady?
Who loves the Benjamin?
It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
We should do this every 4th of July.
So rich.
Hola, amigo. It's me, your TV. Just pulled the plug on your cable to show you something sweet. With DirecTV, get a DVR that stores twice as many shows as cable. So load it up. Sports, soaps, absolutely. Reality show marathon, not my thing, but cool. Lots of movies, why not? You got the room. Stop limiting yourself. Give them a call and check out that deal. DirecTV, it'll change your life.
This is your first lesson. You never remember the beginning of a dream.
From the director of The Dark Knight.
How did you get here?
We're dreaming?
Inception.
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
Rated PG-13 in theaters and IMAX July 16.
No matter what life throws at you, you can take the heat till it turns into heartburn. You've got what it takes. Zantac. It's strong, fast, lasting relief. So let them turn up the heat. You can stop that heartburn cold. Zantac.
We love baseball and America's WGN.
Well, the Cubs leading 8-3. Another strange weekend here on the South Side. Seems like every year there's some sort of bizarre incident. But they lead here today, trying to get out of here with a win. Dion Viciedo stays in and plays third. And veteran right-hander Scott Linebrink will take over on the mound. By the way, in terms of the Carlos Zambrano indefinite suspension, nothing has been announced today by the Cubs, so we don't have anything new for you other than he is suspended, and the Cubs are playing with a 24-man roster currently. I think the Cubs would like to get some feedback from Major League Baseball, and I'm sure the Players Union will chime in as well to figure out what to do next. But Lou said yesterday before the game, when Carlos does return to the roster, he will pitch out of the bullpen. And as I mentioned on our WGN baseball blog, a lot has to happen before he does return, including a major apology to all of his teammates. 2-2 on D. Lee. And then he swings and misses for the first out. Well, a lot to be encouraged about today, Bob. Derek with 2 hits, including a 2-run double. Tyler Colvin with a big day, 3 hits. The go-ahead homer. We've seen some really good swings from Aramis Ramirez, Alfonso Soriano, Giovanni Soto, Starlin Castro at the bottom of the order. 2 hits, 2 runs. Xavier Nady with his first hit. Maybe the Cubs should just not go to sleep tonight, not wash the uniforms, just show up at Wrigley Field tomorrow night and just act like this game just continues tomorrow night. Because for whatever reason, they haven't been able to sustain it from day to day.
Yeah, we have seen brief flashes like we're seeing today from time to time, and you know, we're hoping and thinking that maybe they turn the corner and have a little momentum going into the next day, and seems like invariably they run into a buzzsaw of an opposing pitcher that stifles the bats, and the offense struggles once again. So yeah, hopefully this is the one that gets them going in the right direction. I mean, obviously a lot of things to be worked out for Carlos Zambrano before he does return to this team, as you said, Len. But yeah, the real thing that concerns you is looks like Ramirez is going to ground into an easy 6-4-3 double play, as he's been so ineffective this year.
Well, Tom Gorzolani will be back in the rotation this week. 8-3 to the bottom of the 9th.
Keaton always said, I don't believe in God, but I'm afraid of him. Well, I believe in God. And the only thing that scares me is Kaiser Soze.
Jack is dead. You can call me Joker. And as you can see, I'm a lot happier.
CC looks a bit rattled out there, and Dave Island is coming out for a visit.
Dave, I think we should put organic garden in that bullpen.
I think we should organize a group hug for all of New York.
Mobile classrooms, that was your idea, wasn't it?
How about a pizza party for all of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Senior prom for senior citizens. I don't know about that one.
Pepsi's spending millions to fund refreshing ideas. Vote for ideas you care about at refresheverything.com.
See that girl in the stands? She got some great ideas.
Fact.